For my birthday this year, I decided to go to a USO World War II themed swing dance held in North Carolina. I found it just scrolling through Instagram one day, and a lot of time people ask me, like, how do you find all these cool events to go to? It's like, well, I look around on the internet. So I found this one, and it just happened to be the weekend after my birthday. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is too perfect. I was literally looking at tickets for another ball that I thought were too expensive, and also in Europe, so a little bit of a hard time to get there. And I found these and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So I got our vintage luggage out because I love a theme. You know, I want to make everything as immersive as possible for myself. So we got out the vintage luggage, I got out the vintage clothes, and we hit the road. My wonderful husband made me a cucumber sandwich as a snack as we were driving, and I had researched this place to stay. So we are staying at the Ambassador Quality Inn Motel. It is from the 1950s, so it is historic. It kind of fits within our vintage aesthetic, if you will, and goes with our theme for the weekend. So I grabbed my luggage from the car and went on in. We drove up the same day as the event. So we moved on in, and then it was time to put the finishing touches on my dress, because had I actually finished sewing my dress, no, I still needed to sew the shoulder pads in. So I had to get right on that. But this is our room, just so that you get a nice little look at it. It is very nice, very standard, very vintage. I love this subway tile in the bathroom. Also, I thought this was so weird. There was like a bottle cap opener and a corkscrew for possibly wine attached to the bathroom wall. Anyway, thought that was weird. My husband laid out his outfit, and then again, like I was saying, I had to finish sewing my outfit to get ready, because that's pretty important. Got to make sure you have something to wear. And then I started getting ready. I needed to do my hair, and I needed to do my makeup and do my nails. I had some Victory Red nail polish that I needed to get done, so we better get on it. Come get ready with me for this World War II USO swing dance. I have on my YouTube channel a more in-depth video about doing 1940s makeup. So if you are interested in a more in-depth tutorial, go ahead and check that out. I'll also link it. But here I'll just give you kind of the highlights of my getting ready. Almost all of the makeup that I use for this vintage look came from Besame. I love Besame. They are a fabulous makeup brand that reproduces historically accurate makeup products from the 1910s-ish all the way up to the 1970s. They are fabulous. I ordered a bunch last year, and I'm still using it. It's great. So I'm using a lot of their products that are themed for the 1940s. I love their rouge. I love their cream rouge. This is the first cream rouge that I have ever used, and it changed my life. Now, as you've noticed, I have a lot of hair. And yes, I did bring one of my vintage hair brushes to brush my hair with, and I felt like a pretty princess. But the problem with having pretty princess hair and 1940s hairstyles is that they are not designed for people with long hair. So we are going to have to get a wee bit creative in our 1940s stylings. Can we do it? Absolutely. Is it going to take a lot of bobby pins, hairnets, and a little bit of prayer? Yes, it is. So the first thing that I did was separate a very small section in the front of my hair that is going to be my victory roll. Because can you go to a World War II themed event without a victory roll in your hair? I mean, like, maybe you could, but it should be illegal. So I went ahead and I did a little victory roll, rolling it between my fingers, where there is a hole in the middle of my hair, and then pinning it up. This is an interesting thing to do when you have a lot of hair, because you have to start with a thinner section than you think you actually need, because by the time you roll it all the way up there, it's like a snowball going downhill. It gets bigger and bigger by the second. So you got to start with a really smaller strand than you think you need when you're having long hair and doing a victory roll. It is possible though. So I went ahead and I got that victory roll done, and then I just kind of swooped back the other half of my hair, giving it a little bit of volume, and put a comb in it to hold it. And then this is when we come to the back section here. I didn't want to just do a bun because that felt boring. So I'm kind of trying to do like a snood situation, but like make it shorter. Anyway, you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm kind of doing like a ponytail and then sticking like the end of my ponytail up through the ponytail so it hides the ends and it makes my hair look shorter just in general. And then I thought, this is great. And sometimes I have just left it like this for events. But I'm about to go to a swing dance and I dance energetically. And it needs some fortification. My hair needs some fortification. So I added a net, which in retrospect, I feel like flattened my hair a little bit in the back, but it also held all night. So am I mad about it? I don't think so, but I just feel like it could have been better. But now I know for next time. As we arrived for the swing dance, there was an awesome World War II Jeep right out front, and the owners were so nice and let us take pictures and sit inside it. And then one of the first things that we did when we got into the venue was go to the Wall of Heroes so that I could hang a photo up of my pap who served as a Marine in World War II. I really loved this very personal touch of the event where you could bring a photo of a family member or friend who had served in World War II, either in a military capacity or on the home front. People brought letters, and it was just so meaningful. So we had purchased one of the VIP tickets. We were in the Casablanca Cafe. We were part of the French Resistance, and that meant that we had this really cool upper space where our table was. And it was in this kind of glassed-in loft space that overlooked the main dance floor, which was so cool. And also, as a VIP guest, we got to have dinner. And it was this lovely buffet full of very yummy foods. And we also got to explore the venue a little bit before the crowds arrived of all of the general admission. And there was even a burlesque performance. So one of the other themed spaces was a offshore leave bar in Hawaii, and in this very tropical themed space they also had the quote-unquote rat races. Now of course in actual World War II in the 40s they would have had actual rats that they raced, but here we had fun just little wind-up rats. And Steven, he was one of the master rat racers. Now after we had our lovely food, saw the show, and raced the rats, we got to see a performance of the swing dances, and also I got to meet an online friend. I got to meet Jeanette of A Perfect Touch. She has a fabulous YouTube channel, and I will link that down in the description box below, and you can even go and see how she made her fabulous hat. We then had to go and get our pictures taken and our passports filled out. So this is my fake passport because I'm part of the French Resistance. So don't tell anybody about my true identity. And then once we had our paperwork done, we went and danced the night away on the dance floor. It was so much fun. We hadn't been swing dancing in a while, and there's just nothing like a live band and a floor full of people who are just ready to have some good old-fashioned fun. There was also a costume contest where we got to yell and scream for our favorite outfit. So one of the fun things that we did that we just took upon ourselves was that we brought our Polaroid camera with some black and white film, and we offered to take pictures of people that we thought were really cute and well dressed and we had chatted with and wanted to make friends with. It was just so much fun and a nice little icebreaker that we had fun doing and handing out and giving to people as like little souvenirs and memory makers, because I say one of my love languages is taking photos of people and taking photos with people. So I think that was a really nice, just kind of fun thing that we did. And then, of course, there was even some more fun swing dance performances. One was to the Candyman. That was very fun. Then we had some late night donuts, because who doesn't love that? And then we just continued to dance the night away, and I didn't want it to end.
Good night, everybody.
Everything about this event was just so amazing, and every detail was so well thought out. I felt very immersed in the time and the place, but you know, like only the good things about it, because no Nazis were allowed. As this time in history gets farther away from us, I find myself reflecting on it more and the lives of my grandparents who lived through this experience more, and wanting to talk to the people who still have memories, living memories of this time period. It was really interesting to get to experience a brief snippet of what that kind of could have been like. This was our first 1940s event, and I think I would definitely go to another one, especially if it was as well done and well organized as this one was. So I'm going to put the link to the event website down in the description so that you can see more about it as well. Thank you so much for coming along on this adventure with us. It's always wonderful to have you. I hope that you'll consider subscribing and becoming a member of the Historical Belle Society on my Patreon. Thank you so much to my wonderful Patreon supporters. My first ever deposit from Patreon helped pay for this trip, so I couldn't have done it without you, and thanks for your support. It means a lot.